In this video, we are comparing Azure IAM versus AWS IAM. So what is IAM? IAM is a identity access management and it consists of authentication and authorization. Authentication means who are you? You can authenticate yourself by username and password, token or certificate. The authorization means what access you have. You can have the access on resource, group of the resource, device or any object. It is going to be a complete practical demonstration. Let's talk about Azure IAM in the first part. I am connected the Azure with my subscription. To manage the IAM in the Azure, you required Active Directory. So in the left ladder, you can access Azure Active Directory, and currently a default directory is enabled for my root account. When you create a account or subscription in Azure, it create a default directory in the Active Directory for your account. Currently my account associate with default directory, and to manage user and group I need to create a separate directory in AD. You can use full features enable Active Directory. It is called P1 or P2. You can go with the custom domain name. If you have a custom domain, register for your organization. I am going to use free service based Active Directory in this demonstration. So let's create a separate directory. Create a directory. It is also called a tenant. Give the organization name. Initial domain name or directory name should be unique on Microsoft AD. It seems that this domain name is already registered on Microsoft AD. So let me try with this name. Yes, it is unique on Microsoft AD. Country, I am good with United States. Let's go ahead and create it. It can take some time. Okay, so directory has been created. Now you can manage user groups and policies. But before that, you require to change the subscription ownership to this directory, because you can use one subscription on one directory. My subscription is enabled or subscribe to default directory. So I need to switch the ownership from default directory to DevOps directory. So let's go in the cost management and select the subscription. Click on change directory and select a directory. It is a DevOps group and change it. It has been done. So you are currently on default directory. You require to switch the directory from default to DevOps group. Before that, let's give the permission on subscription. Then select IAM. Then select on role assignments. Currently no user assigned. Click on add and click on add role assignments. Select a role called owner. We will discuss about the roles in few seconds. For now, select the owner and assign access to Azure AD and select the account to which you want to give the permission, in that case yourself. Go ahead and save it. Now it's time to switch the directory so that we can manage IAM. Click on default directory and switch directory, then click on DevOps group. Now I am on DevOps group directory. Instead of default directory, I am going to use this directory to manage a IAM for my organization. So we are going to create a admin account so that we can avoid to use our root account. Select the Azure Active Directory and create a group called admin. In the groups, then create a new group. Group type can be security or Office 365. If you have already account on Office 365, then you can select the Office 365 option. I am going to create a account or group on the Azure AD. So select the security option give the group name. Membership type can be assigned or dynamic. By default, it is assigned or static. Who is going to owner of this group? I am going to owner of this group, or root user is going to owner of this group. Who is going to member of this group? So far we haven't created any account, then leave it. Go ahead and create it. Group has been created. Let's create now user account. Go to DevOps AD and copy the full domain name or path for the DevOps group LLC directory. It is going to use in user creation. Let's create user under the users and create new user. Give the name, like username is going to be login name for the Azure. So this is the complete username to login on Azure. You can set up the profile. Let's keep the default. You can change the property. I am not going to change it. Yes, I am going to change groups. I am going to associate this user account in admin group. Now I am going to select the directory role. This is the directory role, not a IAM role. I am making this user account as a global administrator. So what is a global administrator role in a AD? Global administrator on AD can manage all the features in Active Directory, can assign a role to anyone, reset the password for any users, whereas user administrator can create and manage the user and group, manage support tickets, monitor the service health check, as well as change password for users. Go ahead and click on OK. We required password. Copy this password. It is required to log in first time on Azure. This is the username and this is the password. Go ahead and create. User account has been created, but look at the source of both the account. This user account created in Azure AD and this user account from Microsoft account. Now let's talk about the scope of IAM policies. In Azure, you can define the scope of your IAM policy at different level like management group, subscription, resource group and resource. Let's look at one by one. Let's look at the management group. Click on that service. At this moment, I don't have any management groups. Management group is very useful when you have multiple Azure subscription and you want to manage your Azure subscription via management group. You can create a management group like IT department, financial department, security department for your organization. Since I do have a single Azure subscription, so I am not creating the management group for this demonstration. Next one is subscription. Go ahead and click on post management and billing. Click on your subscription. Now we are going to define a scope at subscription level. So click on access control, IAM, click on role assignments, then click on add and then add role assignments. Then select a role. These are Azure built-in role. Let's talk about top 3 role: owner, contributor and reader. If you select or assign the owner role, then user can manage everything in subscription. If you assign the contributor, then user can access all the resource in the subscription but cannot assign or provide access to other users. If you select or assign reader role, then user can read all the resource in a subscription. I am selecting the owner because I want to use this user account to manage everything in my subscription. I am selecting the group. Go ahead and save it. Now admin group has a full control on my subscription. Let's log out from my root account and log in my admin account. Click on top and sign in with the different account. Click on use another account. This is my user account and this is my first time password. You require to change a password. Now you can notice that I am connected a different admin account, not a root account in DevOps Guru tenant or directory. Now let's create more users and group, and now this user account is going to manage everything in my subscription, but billing ownership will be continued to my root account. So let's go into the Azure Active Directory and create some of the groups. Let's create a group for developer. Who is going to be owner? It is admin account. Leave the member now. Let's go ahead and create it. Let's create one more group. This admin. Now let's create couple of the users. Select the group and I am putting this user into developer group. I am providing the directory role as a user. Copy the password of this user account. Go ahead and create it. Let's create one more user account. Let's select the groups. Sysadmin for this user account and keep the user for directory role. Copy the password. Go ahead and create it. Now we have created one user for developer group and one user for sysadmin group. Now let's define a scope at resource group. Click on resource groups. These are existing resource group. You can define the IAM policy on these group, but let me create a new group for this activity. I'm creating a resource group for the .NET project. Region can be East US. Go ahead and create it. A new .NET project resource group is ready and we are going to assign RBAC to developer on this particular resource. Any member of developer group can manage the resource. In this resource group, they can launch, they can manage any resource or grant permission to other member within this resource group. This particular resource group is going to be isolated with other resource group. So let's assign the RBAC on this particular resource group. Click on access control and click on role assignments. At this moment, admin group has a ownership on this particular resource group and RBAC and scope is inherited from subscription. Click on add button. I am assigning the contributor role to developer group. Now any member of developer group can manage any resource in this particular resource group. Let's sign out and sign in with the member of developer group. So I am connecting Azure with one of the member of developer group. I am connected with Dave01. It is a member of developer group. Click on resource group and you can see here .NET project source group is assigned to this user. He can see only assigned resource group in his home page. Let's try to launch a VM in this resource group. Click on virtual machines, then click create virtual machine, select the resource group and give the virtual machine name. Creating the virtual machine with this information. My virtual machine name will be demo01 and it is going to be created under .NET project resource group and I am launching the Ubuntu machine. This is the password and I am opening the port for SSH. Let's go ahead and review and create. Validation passed and now create it. Now you can see here resources are getting created. Deployment has been completed. Let's look at the .NET project resource group and you can see here all the resource has created successfully. Let's look at the virtual machine and demo 101 virtual machine running under source group .NET project. Any member of developer group can manage any service within this resource group. Let's try to create a new resource group. To validate the RBAC policy, click on add and give any name. Look at here. You don't have permission to create a new resource group. This user has a permission to manage all the resource in .NET project resource group. So this is the demonstration how you can limit your RBAC scope on resource level. Now look at how you can limit your RBAC scope at resource level. Sign out and sign in with admin user account. So I'm connected with one of the admin account. For example, if you want to provide access your sysadmin on virtual machines so that they can monitor virtual machine and take necessary action, click on virtual machines. At this moment, I do have only one virtual machine. Click on it and click on IAM. Click on role assignments, then click on add. Then select a role. We are going to use virtual machine specific role. You can see here there are 3 virtual machine specific role: virtual machine administrator login, virtual machine contributor, virtual machine user login. Virtual machine administrator login, he can view virtual machine in the portal and login as administrator. Virtual machine contributor, he can manage virtual machine but cannot access them. So let's assign virtual machine contributor role and select sysadmin group. Save it. Now you can see here this particular virtual machine has 3 scope or RBAC policy. Developer has contributor role, admin has a full control, and sysadmin has a virtual machine contributor role. Again, sign out and sign in with one of the member of sysadmin group. I am connected with this admin account. Let's look at all the resource in this account, and he can view virtual machine demo 101. He can access and he can manage, but he cannot connect. Let's try to connect it. Look at here. He doesn't have the permission, but he can stop this virtual machine. Virtual machine is getting down. Now you can see here machine stop and he can start the machine. Okay, machine is up and running. So we are done with the demonstration on Azure IAM. In the second part of this video, we are trying to simulate in AWS IAM. So stay tuned. Hello everyone. This is the second part of the video, AWS IAM. In this part, we are going to walk through AWS IAM. Let's start. I am connected AWS with my root account. You can create organization like Active Directory in Azure. You can also go with OU, organization unit. It is a big topic, so I am covering in a dedicated video series. For now, let's work on AWS IAM service. AWS always recommended to log down your root account like your credit card number. You should use your root account only for billing purpose. So log down your root account. Go to in services and search IAM service. You are on IAM service page. First delete your access and secret key of your root account. You can use access and secret key to make programmatical request to AWS. However, do not use your AWS root account because it provides a full access on AWS resource including billing resource. I don't have access and secret key for my root account. If you have access or secret key of your root account, then go ahead and delete it. I am not going to use root account to manage my AWS resource. Instead of that, I am creating a dedicated admin account for my AWS resource. So let's create couple of groups in IAM. Click on groups, create new groups, give the group name its admin, and attach a policy. I am attaching a administrator access policy. Go for next step and create groups. Now let's create a admin account, add account, give the username of account and access type. I am not going to use access and secret key for this account. I just want to give the access on AWS Management Console and click on custom password. Anyway, this password is going to change by the users during the first time login. Click on next, add this user in admin group. Go for next. Adding tag is a optional, but it is very useful in many circumstances. For example, you can generate billing report group wise. Key is a owner and value is a admin. Go for review. Looks okay. Go ahead and create a user. User successfully created. Log out and log in with this admin account. Before log out, I want to show you. Click on dashboard. You can see here this link is customizable. It is very difficult to remember all the numbers in signing URL. So click on customize and create a alias for this URL. The alias name should be unique. Now you can see here it is much better. Log out and log in with admin account. Sign in to a different account. Add your account alias. Use your IAM user account which we created. Change the password. I am connected with newly admin account, not a root account. I am going to use this admin account for all administrative tasks. Let's create groups and users for the developer and sysadmin. Click on IAM. Click on groups. Create a new group. Member of developer group is going to have full access on compute resource. That means he or she will be able to launch any compute resource for their developer project. You can use AWS inbuilt policies or you can create a custom policy for your group. Let's filter out AWS policies. We are going to use Amazon EC2 full access policy for the developer group. Let's go ahead and create. Let's look at the newly created group and you can see this policy is attached to this group. You can see policy. This policy allow access almost all compute resource. Let's go ahead and close it. Let's create one more group. Sysadmin, and this group is going to have the access to describe a instance, stop and start instance, terminate instance or EC2. Let's create a custom policy. Don't attach any policy right now. Click on next and create group. Now let's create a custom policy. Click on policies and create policy. You can use visual editor or JSON. To create a custom policy, let's use the visual editor. Choose a service. In this policy, we are going to use EC2 service. Select the service. Now we require to take action. We required to get access on describe instance. Select describe instance and describe instance status. Second permission, we required terminate instance. Select it. We also required permission on start instance. We also required a permission for run instance, and we also required to get a permission on stop instance. So these are actions, and we want to get access or permissions on all resources. Request condition is optional. Go ahead and review policy. Give the policy name. Go ahead and create policy. Now we can attach this customized policy to sysadmin group. So click on groups, click on sysadmin, go to permissions and attach policy. You can filter the policy by customer, manage, and click on sysadmin policy. Attach policy. Now create users for sysadmin and developer group. So click on users, add user sysadmin01. This user account is not going to use access key to access AWS resource. So assign access type AWS management console access. Assign the custom password. Click next. Add this user in sysadmin group. Next. Tag. Go ahead and create user. Close it and create one more user. This is for the developer group, and this user account is going to access AWS resource with programmatic as well as AWS console. Custom password, and next add this user account in developer group. Next for review. Looks great. Create users. Now we have one user for each group. For the testing, log out and log in with developer group. I am going to log in with the developer account. Do you notice that I am connected with the developer account? This user account have full access on compute resource. It means that this user can launch EC2 resource on AWS console. Go to services and click on EC2. Let's try to launch a basic EC2 machine. The machine has been initiated. Okay, my EC2 machine successfully running. This user account has full access on compute resource. Let's try to launch any other service to validate the access or policy. Go to in services and try to access IAM. Yes, you can see here this user account doesn't have the permissions. Let's try to access some other service. Let's try to access S3 bucket. Yes, this user account doesn't have the permission on any other service apart from compute resource. Let's log out and log in with sysadmin account to validate their permission. This user account should have access only to list down, EC2 instance, stop and start instance, and terminate EC2 instance. So click on EC2 and you can see here this user account doesn't have the access any other compute service apart from listing down instance. Click on running instance, and since we launch only one EC2 instance, hence this user can able to see only single instance. He would be able to manage this instance. Let's try to stop the instance. Yes, machine successfully stopped. Let's try to start this machine. Okay, machine successfully started. This user can successfully manage EC2 instance. Let's try to access any other service to validate policies. This user account doesn't have the permission to access any other service apart from managing the EC2 instance. That's all in this video. I hope I was able to explain Azure versus AWS IAM features. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.